Hey there guys, Infinity here, and today is October 26, 2019, and I'm going to be posting another guided meditation in just a little bit, and it got me thinking again just how many people probably don't even try. I know some of my meditations are long, but I mean just in general, people just say, I've tried it before, I can't do it. It's too difficult. I can't clear my mind. I can't sit still. I get uncomfortable, or it's just too hard to get my mind clear, and I just get more frustrated, and it's not for me. I hear this a ton, and I totally get it. And the problem with that whole thing with meditation is a lot of people think that they're just supposed to sit super still like a statue. They're not supposed to think anything like a statue. And they're just supposed to be this like blankness. And that will never ever happen in meditation. You can focus on one thing, like your breathing, and it's good to do that, just focusing in on one thing every once in a while. But the whole purpose of meditation is to let your mind expand and think and have ideas come into it and be open to the messages and receiving the symbols and thinking of things that actually do matter. Now, I'm not talking about like, thinking of the grocery list or taking out the garbage, these types of thinking thoughts when you're meditating. But when you're meditating, like let's say, for example, the kind of meditations that I facilitate are guided astral meditations. And all you need to do is sit there and listen to my voice and do what I tell you to do. And that's it. You don't have to sit like a statue. You can move around, you can sway, you can scratch yourself. We do get awfully itchy and tingly and energized in the meditations, and which is the whole point, to activate your energetic body, to get you all in flow and in balance, to expand your energy. And you got to be thinking for this. So while there are some meditations where you want to be just focusing in on one thing or repeating a mantra, there's those types of meditations too, where you just repeat the same thing over and over again, and you can't really get outside of that. And mantras are good meditations too. It programs your subconscious and your conscious, depending on what your mantra is and what you're saying. The different vibrations can clear you and heal you, and those are good to do too. I have some favorite mantras that I like to have on and just listen to and have them on in the background when I'm doing my thing around the house. But when it comes to the types of meditations that I facilitate and that are so important for activating your light body, for integrating activations for your DNA, for your light codes and your DNA activations, for strengthening your frequency, for healing, for clearing, for receiving messages and all that stuff. Again, all you have to do is sit there, keep your eyes closed, be someplace where you're not going to be distracted by other people or interruptions. Make your space really comfortable. Light candles, burn some incense if you're into incense, or do your essential oils, and just get comfortable and just start opening yourself up and just say, okay, I'm just going to do this, and just listen to what is being said. Some people kind of, especially in my meditations, because they are astral guided meditations, we are traveling to higher dimensions in the quantum state, in the quantum field. So a lot of people will report falling asleep even if they stay in a seated position, or they'll maybe like, oh, I'm getting so sleepy, because my voice can get kind of hypnotic, and so people will like lay down. And definitely get into a trance-like state. They will, however, come out of it right when we are coming out of the meditation, whether that's an hour later or 2 hours later. Some of my meditations can be 2 hours long because, again, a lot is going on. It doesn't feel like that ever. It always feels. So if you ever see on my YouTube channel meditation and it's 2 hours and 15 minutes long, you're like, oh my God, I can never meditate for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Yes, you can. You absolutely can. And it won't feel like 2 hours and 15 minutes. It'll feel like maybe an hour. Everybody reports this, because what happens is when we go into the astral state, when we're lifting up and we're going into the quantum, into these higher dimensions, time moves at a very different pace. So it feels like it's not that long at all. And then you come out of it and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that much time went by. We went in at 4 and we came out at 6. You gotta be kidding me. And it never feels like that. And the same thing happens in my healings too, because we're doing quantum healing. We're going into the quantum field, and it always feels like a less amount of time, especially to the recipient of the healing, than it does in real time. But definitely to me too. It definitely feels like that to me too. So what I'm trying to do with this video here is make people understand that in general, there's a very deep, dark, lie, untruth, fallacy about meditation, that there's one way to do meditation, that you just have to be there and be still and not think about anything, or just think about this or whatever. There's different ways that you can meditate, and to not just do the type of meditations that are, repeating the same thing over and over again, or breathing, or just concentrating on your breathing, because while you are paying attention to yourself and focusing on yourself and regulating yourself to a certain degree, you're missing out on a whole lot that you could be experiencing, because you're like, oh, I can't do that. That's not the kind of meditation, or I've tried it and I couldn't do it. I was supposed to be really still and not think about stuff. And that's not true. Even in my guided meditations, we'll take time in the meditation while I'll be quiet to allow you to receive information and get messages, to get visions, wherever you're being led and guided to, and to take note of these things, because they are important. This is how we connect. This is how we expand our awareness. This is how we get information. When I'm in those guided astral meditations, most of the time I'm receiving channeled, guided, or divinely guided or channeled information from divine beings such as Jesus or Gaia or any of the archangels, anybody of the high council, so any divine beings, any galactic beings as well that are part of the galactic their own galactic federation, and then that works with the high council. So, but typically in my astral meditations, it's most of the time going to be Jesus and going to be Gaia, which is Mother Earth. And she's the one who got me to do all this stuff to begin with taking people into meditation and then channeling in those meditations and stuff, where I used to do that stuff very privately. It became this really public thing, even though there's not a whole lot of people doing it. She was the one who came to me to do this, to get people to, when I was doing healings, and grounding with her and grounding with, with the earth, she actually came through. And ever since then, it's been on this whole trajectory. So in my guided astral meditations, we're going quantum, we're going into higher dimensions, we're going to be getting visions of things, we're going to be feeling and activating our bodies, we're going to be really, really active in the astral plane and in these much higher dimensions, and and also receiving messages through divine channeling that I facilitate. So there's a lot going on there. And I know that my meditations are my more popular videos on my channel. I just want more people to do them. I want people to not forego doing them and thinking, oh, I tried meditation and I can't do it, because it's not true. You think you can't do it, or you've been led to believe you can't do it, and it's just because it's so important to do it that, you know, it's kind of like it's made to be this like elusive, hard, difficult thing, or people are like, oh, I just do this kind of meditation and that counts as meditation. And it's true, it does, but you're also missing a whole lot that you could be a part of, and expanding your awareness and your experiences in the astral and understanding what that's all about, especially during these times when we are receiving so much, so many light codes and activations and upgrades and all sorts of stuff going on for ourselves, and to forego that or not to do that because you have a misconception about yourself and your ability to meditate. Now, the other thing is to be aware of is the pull away from doing it. So you may be like, oh yeah, I got to do that meditation for the new moon, and then things just continuously happen to keep you away from that. And you know, I know that this happens, so you just really need to be aware to make it a priority for yourself and with yourself that you're not going to let too much time go by when we drop these meditations, to do them you know, as soon as you can. I know sometimes they're long, and I know that they come like on the day of or whatever. It just kind of is what it is, but please make it a point to try to do them sooner than later if you're doing my meditations. And if you're not doing mine, and if you're not really guided to do them, then that's fine too. But just in general, for yourself, just some type of meditation, just get into the practice of it on some level, even if it's just laying in bed, getting yourself into a real ritualistic position, not like a sleeping position, but a position that you would go into, like I do the dead man's position. So lay in bed with my arms crossed over my chest, my spine really straight. I let my feet hips distance apart and let them hang out. You know, so you're keeping them nice and loose. You're not tensing them up, your feet or your legs. And then you just lay there and say that you want to connect with your soul and your spirit tribe, and you're open for the day to, I like to do this in the morning before I get out of bed. So I just kind of get into this position. So I'm sort of meditating before I'm even out of bed, because once I'm out of bed, I'm taking care of cats and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And it's 3 hours before I can even, you know, stop to do anything. And then I'm on with my day. And a lot of the times, you know, my meditation stuff happens in a really intentional way when in the process of my day, especially when I'm doing meditations to share with you all. But for my own self, it's just, I've gotten in this habit of just lay in bed, get into this position, and just don't think about anything other than connecting in that moment and throughout the day, and being intentional about that, and talking to whoever that you're close to or you feel in the moment, or open yourself up to be told who's with you and who wants to speak with you as far as your guides go. And just see what happens. You know, they're always there for you. You just have to be like, okay, I want to communicate with you now, you know, because they're always ready to communicate with you. And meditation is like the best way to get into the realm and the process of those communications in real time, in your awake state, in your what I call moving meditation throughout your day, when you're doing the mundane things, but you can still be in a very meditative state to receive and get information. So the more that you focus in on that, the more that you're able to do it. All right, guys, I hope that this helped with motivating you to do meditation, with dispelling some myths about meditation. You know, you're never going to turn off your brain until you're dead. And even when you're dead, it's just your brain that goes out and then you're a conscious soul. So it's literally impossible to turn you off. Even people in comas, they're active in their brain state. So, you know, it's really, and you're active in your sleep and you're active in your dream state. I mean, in your sleep state. And we know this. So even when you're asleep, you're not turning off your brain. It's just different levels of consciousness. So it's about actively going to the different levels of consciousness, not escaping them. Okay, guys, that's a big thing to think about. It's about actively going there, not trying to leave the brain activity or the thought processes or any of those things that happen. We need them. This is how we know things and know what to do and do anything, is through thinking. Even when we're doing those meditations for just breathing, we're thinking about breathing. You always have to be thinking about something. And that's why it's so important to know and understand your thought processes and your mindfulness of what you're thinking, because thoughts will just run and you'll just be on some story or some record or twisted up in some whole thing that's not even real at all, or is from the past, or, you know, you're just mindlessly thinking of shit. And that is the biggest trap of all in our lifetimes, is to be mindlessly thinking of things, because our brain needs to be thinking of things, so we'll find things to think of. And most of the time we'll find negative things, fearful things, things that we're worried about or stressed about. And this is what perpetuates being worried and stressed, is thinking about it. And so you have to be mindful of what you're thinking about. And that's what mindfulness is about controlling your mind, being in control of your own mind. When you're in control of your own mind and your own thoughts and what your thoughts are doing and where they're going and what you're receiving, then you're in control of your energy and the energy around you. And that's when you get into all sorts of cool stuff. But it starts with, what am I thinking about? And what am I doing with myself? And how am I focusing on myself? And what am I opened up to, positively or negatively? All right, I'm really going now, you guys. Happy 10/26. I love you dearly. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment on this. If you have any questions about the whole meditation thing, please ring the bell if you are subscribed, to get the notifications of when I am dropping videos so you don't miss anything. And also follow me on Instagram at Infinite Love Light Energy, and the key is to create. And my new account is Gaia.infinite.wow, and it's just a curated site of cool images that I've collected through Instagram, and I want to reshare with you all. So I only have like 10 followers on that one, so if you want to follow me there, that would be really cool. And happy 10/26, happy new moon tomorrow. Look out for that meditation. I'm also going to be doing another tarot as well, so I'm a busy little bee, along with integrating all these energies that are going on right now. Again, check out my Instagram for more information on that, and my previous videos that have come through as well, especially that last tarot video. If you haven't watched it yet, it talks about this new moon and the stargates coming up that are very, very important. So all of this stuff is really integrated in there. I was just kind of missing, there's this thing going on with today being a really supercharged day as well, for divine union and all that. So that'll be part of more information to come. Again, you guys, hope you have a great day. I love you so much. Thanks for being here. Infinite love and blessings. Don't forget, the key is to create. And I love you already. Bye, guys.